So back to Starbuck on the table.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm here, yes.
Okay. Well, Luke, is it okay if I'm starting the interview with Starbuck?
Sure. Take it away.
Okay. First, I have to say something which Nova told me to say it. She had thought about all this, about she has spoken, and she will say the tunnel system under the airport and the railway station, which reaches to all four regions, is a symbol of the collaboration idea itself. Whether beneath Hannah's land or mine or Starbucks or the GSLR's land, there is a striving to connect with each other and as a whole through creativity. A tunnel system is a subsurface world that most never see, but which is perhaps the region's most inspiring feature. The words from Nova then. Okay, well, Starbuck. I have a question. Port Calleta is an important public airport. Is it used by many different pilots from all over the world too? I know that Noah has said something on this question. Maybe you want to say something too.
I can extend on her statement a bit. I do notice, for example, in the mornings, quite often there's a group of Japanese players down on the ramp testing helicopters and doing various things on the airport ramp. So that in itself is some evidence. We have, as Nova said, it's really hard to zero in on a 24/7 airport, but the evidence from the GTFO board and the Landmaster board shows a very diverse population. So yes, we have a very diverse audience, both from a real world perspective and the SL world perspective as well, because the connection of the continents opened up a lot more traffic, basically aviation traffic throughout the grid. So we get a lot more traffic now because of that as well.
Yeah, great. Okay. How are the many facilities, the museum, parking garage, tunnels, Swedish Nest used? What can you say to this?
Well, Nova said quite a bit about the tunnels. I do want to highlight Hannah Bluemood, because Hannah is was the original creator of the tunnel concept. I'll talk more about that when I get a chance to introduce or name the rest of the players in the operation. But the tunnels, we've had help from the GSLR. They allowed us to pass under their land to expand. The GSLR being Great Southern Second Life Railway. They opened up a passageway for us to connect to the west side, which was not available before. So that gave us a large expansion of the tunnels. Under the tunnels, there's a lot of what I would call Easter eggs for people to look for. I recently thought I should mention the still. I won't mention who that still belongs to because I don't want the authorities coming after him, but he's sitting at this table right now.
Okay, cool.
And Vinny's Nest, the other thing about Vinny's Nest is how this facility is used. A lot of the drivers of SL events and Skyward Flying Club and Leeward Cruising Club events end at Port Calleta, and their end of event parties happen at the Vinny's Nest.
Yes. Okay, you are specialist for the next question. What practical significance do railways have? Who uses them? How has their use changed over time?
Well, as was mentioned in the video, there are two major railways that pass through our area. The Second Life Railroad is the Linden Labs owned railroad that basically circles the entire Heterocera continent. The Great Second Life Railway is mostly in Sansera, but there is a spur line that runs from the southern entrance into Cecropia up to Calleta Junction, which is also owned by Port Calleta. And this is where they connect together for passengers coming in from the ferries from Sansera. How they're used, there's some automated pods run by Yavanna Landfair and Amman Infinity that go through all the rails, running automated throughout the rail system. There's a lot of private train operators that run through. I see a large number of train operators running through the Sweet Bay and Calleta rail line up into the north of the continent. So they are very heavily used, and we support them basically from Calleta Union Station. Calleta Union Station is essentially an affiliate. It's owned by Hannah Blumood, and she is the original founder. At some point, I did purchase it from her and did some upgrades. I've sold it back to her, and we continue to operate as a collaborative effort within the region.
Okay. Right. What is the history of the airport? When was it built? Who built it? And who owns it now?
Okay, the airport was originally built in 2017. Myself and Debbie Dastardly were the original founders and builders. At that time, it included what you see now, plus over half of the Columbia region as well. From there, it went through several owners. I'm just going to name them very fast, real quickly here. It transferred to Neil Langdon in 2018. Then it transferred to Nova Quine in 2019. It was kept by Nova until 2021 when Angel Navarro purchased it. And then in 2023, I purchased it from Angel Navarro. I am now the primary owner. I have Nova Quine and another person, Alexandria Fireheart is one of my managers also. And since we're on that topic now, I'll go ahead and name the rest of the positions. Hannah, again, is the owner of Calleta Union Station, and Alexandria and I are managers at Calleta Union Station. And of course, Nova is the owner of pretty much all of the properties west of the GSLR rail line in Cecropia, and Alexandria also helps her with that area.
Okay. Very interesting. The next question, what is life like at and around the airfield?
Well, I'll talk about really the theme. The overall theme is a vintage theme. When we first moved into the area, we observed everything else and found that everything was a vintage old world type theme. Some of it urban decay, some of it just general old world type appearance. So we wanted to keep that theme. The life is like operating in maybe a 40s and 50s world, mostly. The airport, we have modernized runways, but vintage style buildings. If you were in the harbor, you showed the harbor in your video, and to me, that harbor reminds me of a New England style fishing port. You see the little buildings that very strongly resemble what you might find in a fishing port in Maine or Massachusetts.
And very stylish.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Calleta Union Station was intentionally built with a 40s theme. Also, the rail station was purchased as a 1940s theme rail station. And finally, I'll move up to Calleta Junction. A very quick talk about that. The Hobo area is owned by the Lindens, and Calleta Junction is owned by the port. And I would compare that to a Depression era Hooverville. It's a hobo type environment. urban decay type situation.
Okay, what does Port Calleta mean to you personally?
Well, to me, it's become a very personal project because, as I said earlier, I was one of the original founders. I've been directly involved with the entire evolution of Port Calleta from the beginning, from when it was called Smuggler's Port. The other owners all kept the very similar theme, making their own changes, putting their own flair to it, but keeping the overall layout and design has not changed in and of itself since 2017 when it was created. I'm very proud of the work that was done by everybody involved, and it's an ongoing project. I've come from full circle, and I'm very happy to be the owner of it now, and it will stay that way so long as I can help it.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers. You have named some persons. We are talking about you and about Noah Klein, but I think there are some other persons, some key persons. Can you name them too?
Well, again, Hannah Bluemood is the owner of Calleta Union Station. I met her and we became friends as well. And when the airport was built, she is the founder of Calleta Union Station and continues to maintain it and own it with myself and Alexandria Firehart as managers. Alexandria is the other player in the staff. She is a manager of both Calleta Union Station and Port Calleta Airport, and has been with me for a very long time as well. So, and she also helps Nova with her land. I would like to follow up real quickly and clarify that Port Calleta Airport is a part of an overall area that we often refer to as Port Calleta in general. It is, as Nova said, a collaboration of the three property owners, and Alexandria is a part of it as well. So it is an overall project that continues, as Nova says, continues to thrive and grow. It's not finished and it will never be finished.
Yes, I see. Well, I was very impressed. I have spent some days there filming and talking with you, with Noah also. Yes, it is a great world, another world, and all spectators who can hear that and watch us go there, it's worth. Well, look, that is Port Calleta.